welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday. I feel like I've had an actual really productive day. I went to work earlier, did some homework. Now I'm home. I've just cleaned almost all of upstairs. I'm getting ready to clean the kids' room while they watch a movie downstairs. Then we're gonna have some snacks, cook dinner, do my daughter's hair. But the point of saying all this and how I feel so productive is that I have just been on a roll listening to well, it felt like a podcast, but I listened to this whole TikTok story while I was doing all this cleaning and stuff. And I also finished Love in Other Words, which was cute. I'll give this a 4 stars. This is a romance. It's a timeline between like now and the past, and so these two, Macy and Elliot, are in high school together, and so they're kind of like high school sweethearts, but they have a falling out over something that happens. It's really, really sad, and yeah, it just pulled my heartstrings. I think it was a 4. Really cute. I loved it. And so since I finished this, I got the bright idea, the point of this video, as you already know by the title, and you know, by me bringing up this and bringing up the fact that this is a romance and we are ending February, I thought it would be nice to just end February reading only romance books. So I don't know if this is going to be just like a week reading only romance, because I have a couple books to get through. We just finished Love in Other Words, 4 star, our first book of the week. We started this yesterday, we finished it today. So okay, I had to bring my Kindle out because we have 4 books essentially that we're going to be reading, and the reason why I think it may all be done in a week is because I have the audiobook for 2 of these books, so that really leaves me 2. So it might carry over into the next week, which I'm totally fine with, don't really care. But I'll show you what I'm gonna start off with, because I'm literally about to put the audiobook on for this right now while I clean, and then I'll check in with you guys obviously with any updates. But we're gonna start Bride. This is supposed to be a paranormal romance where the female main character, I believe, is a vampire. I don't know if this is dual point of view. I have no idea. I just picked this up on a whim. But yeah, so we're gonna start with Bride. This is by Ali Hazelwood. This is her new release. So I decided that I was just gonna give this author a try because I am trying to read new authors. And so this is the first one we're gonna start with. We're gonna start with this while we clean the kids' room. Probably tonight, we're gonna start reading If Only I Had Told Her. This is the second book in the If Only He Had Been With Me duology, I guess, because this is now from his point of view. So I'm excited to read this. I didn't think I was gonna pick it up, honestly. I've said that in previous videos, but I think I'm gonna read this tonight and listen to Bride right now. So these are the 2 that we're going into right now. So these 2 books here, Bride and If Only I Had Told Her. I have no idea what these books are about, so I have no real way of telling you other than One for My Enemy. This has been on my TBR for a while. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. So as soon as I finish one of those 2 books, I'm gonna go straight into here, and then we're gonna finish up with the 7-Year Slip. So those are kind of the 4 books that I'm looking to read in this video. I am expecting to love all of them. Started off strong with Love in Other Words being 4 star. So we shall see what we think of these books here, but I'm really expecting One for My Enemy to be like my favorite. So we're gonna kind of save that one for last, and we're gonna roll through the other 3 first. And again, I have 7-Year Slip on my Kindle and on audio, so I may even start this because I haven't picked up my Kindle in a while. So I actually need to make sure that this is charged. But I may pick this up tonight instead of Only I Had Told Her and finish off with those 2, because I think those 2 are the ones that are really just gonna get me like in my feels. I have just showered. I did some yoga, so I didn't really have any updates earlier. The last clip you see, I have just started the 7-year slip. I have only got up to like 6 or 7%, so I'm not very far in that book. I read for a little bit and then I knocked out. So that's kind of the update on that. I'm not far enough into the book. I'm only 6% into the book, so I can't really say if I'm loving it or not. But so far, our main character, her name is Clementine, and she, I guess her friends and coworkers, because they're at like a work lunch right now, are like encouraging her to kind of like get back out there. But like she's like, oh, I don't really have time to get back out there and date because I'm like caught up in my work, and you know, I just broke up with my boyfriend anyway. And she doesn't even seem like heartbroken or hurt or anything like that. So the way the breakup went was basically he was asking her if like, do you even really want to do this, because I feel like you don't. And she was just kind of like, nah. So she hasn't really had like good luck with love at all. She doesn't know if she's really looking for it. We're at the point, again, we're 6% in, so her aunt has just passed, so she's not really the same. So I'm guessing she just had like a really close relationship with her aunt, so she's just not the same right now. And I mean, that's kind of understandable, and I can feel like it's gonna really pull my heartstrings. Like, I feel it, but I'm not fully invested yet because, again, I'm only 6% in. So, you know, we'll see when I pick that back up. But as of today, I have not read. No, I have not. Yeah, I have not read anything today. So I was like, maybe I should pick up the Kindle and get back into the 7-year slip, because I do need to try to finish that one sooner, because it is a book club book pick. But again, our meeting won't be until the beginning of March anyway, so I do have some time to read that. And then I also have the audiobook for that as well, because I bought the Kindle and the audiobook because I was like, might as well just do both, because I've been on a roll with audiobooks this month, whether from Libby or Spotify. But I really want to get back into Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is my first book by her, and her writing is truly amazing. I am truly obsessed with these characters. I feel like these characters could be like my best friends. Like, I'm obsessed. Like, I love these characters so much. The world is kind of whatever, you know, not the best like fantasy world ever, not the best system ever, but the writing is amazing, and the vibes of this book. I just realized there's like a little gold. That is so cute. Like, I was moving it, and like, if you see that, like the little gold reflective, that's really cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, I'm loving this book so much. I am 162 pages into this book, and this is basically a arranged romance to unite the werewolves and the vampires, because whatever reason they're at odds in this world. And so we meet our main character, Misery. They named her Misery. I was just like, that is interesting. And so there's also kind of like a little element of mystery to it, because we're trying to find out what happened to her friend. And this is like her best friend, like the only one she feels like who truly understands her. So she's like, what's going on? Where is she? There's even one scene where she was talking to a police officer, and she was like, well, she wouldn't leave her cat. And the police officer is like, well, how long did she have the cat? She was like, well, I mean, like, she just got the cat, but she wouldn't leave the cat. Hilarious, because he's just like unconcerned at all. And she's like, no, like, this is serious. And he was just unconcerned. So that's why I say I love these characters. Okay, hi guys. It is actually like so much later, And I'm so sorry, I have not updated this video like at all, but you know what else is new here. Obviously it's been some time. I took my hair out, so obviously with taking my hair out, I was mostly listening to an audiobook, so there wasn't really much footage for me to record. And honestly, after that I kind of got caught in Love is Blind, the new season. So yeah, for right now I have no TV shows to catch up on. I have officially finished my book, Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is the technically first book because I was already done with Love in Other Words when I decided to make this video. So this is the first book, and I definitely said I was gonna try to do this in a whole week, but that's just not gonna happen. We're gonna just move it along and continue obviously reading these books, because I do want to just read these in February, just because it feels like it's Valentine's Day, it's February, it's the month of love. So I do want to finish these books in February. I did pause a book that I'm reading that I really want to get back to as well, but I paused it because I just really was in the mood to read these first, especially because I picked out my March TBR, and it's a bunch of books that like I'm really trying to get deep into. So before I did that, I wanted to obviously get these books out of the way. It feels like the right time to read these. This book here is a 5 out of 5 stars, and this is based off of vibes. Like, I love this author's writing. The characters feel like they could be my friend. I loved it. The world kind of didn't make any sense at all, but I didn't really care too much in this book. The ending makes me think that there's going to be more books in this world, and I'm so here for it. I had started the 7-year slip on my Kindle. I kind of went, I started reading the 7-year slip, and I'm not totally feeling it right now, to be completely honest, but since I'm in my bed, it just feels right to read on my Kindle. I'm just not feeling it though. It's nothing personal to this book, I think. I just think I really have to get deep into it, because I'm like 7% into the book, so it's really not enough time for me to really form any type of opinion on this book just yet. There's been no good amount of time for me to form a good opinion on this book, right? So ideally, again, I'm in my bed, so I would want to read this, but these two books are really calling my name. This, I feel like I'm gonna have to start like in the morning and the afternoon, not when I'm like in my bed cozy, just because this book is definitely a book that feels like you have to pay attention to it. So I was like, what I mean by that is when I first started this a little while ago, and the reason why I stopped it is because I knew this is a book that I really do like. I mean, when you read, of course you pay attention, but like you really do, just because of her writing. I can see why a lot of people have said that Olivia Blake, her writing is kind of like pretentious, and it does give me like that feel, but like not in a bad way. Like, I really did enjoy what I did read so far. It's an interesting concept. It's Romeo and Juliet retelling, but they're like witches, so that's really cool that there's this element of magic here. And so I don't think I've read a Romeo and Juliet retelling with like magic in it. So this is obviously calling my name, but I don't think I want to start this tonight in my bed. Again, I guess because I just really have to pay attention. I might start this. I think the one that's really calling me right now is this one, and I think it's just because it's just red with the rose. If only I had told her. So I think we're gonna start this, especially because I feel like this one's gonna definitely be easier to, I think it's just like the red and the rose. I just feel like I've been eyeing this more. Plus I got the red, but like, you know, this matches more because it's white and red, so this would go with what I'm wearing right now. But I think this is just calling my name because it is red. I think I'm gonna fly through this because this is YA, and YA books are usually easier to fly through because there really is, again, there's no heavy critical thinking you have to do in here. They're pretty straightforward. Like they are what they are. And versus this, I don't think this is YA, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Y'all, I only read the author's note just now. Okay, the first one didn't make me cry. Did not. This one's gonna make me cry. I have only read the author's note. I have only read the author's note, and I'm tearing up. Oh, this is gonna be rough. This is gonna be really, really rough. Oh my gosh. This is only the author's note. Oh my gosh. Spot, completely different day. I promise you. I'm even in a new shirt. Different day, okay? Same spot. It's just later. I took an unexpected nap earlier today after I worked, and it felt great, to be completely honest. But since then, I have just been listening on audio to the 7 Year Slip. So I think it was yesterday when I told you guys I couldn't really get into this, so I had started reading If Only I Had Told Her. So this is where I am now becoming conflicted on what to pick up because I am obsessed with both of these. I kind of want to turn the light off and continue reading the 7 Year Slip more though, just because of where I've gotten to in the story. I'm now 52% in, and it's crazy because when I updated you guys about how I first started this book, I was telling you guys I wasn't sure if I was loving it, but again, I was 7% in, so that's crazy how much has changed from 7 to 52%. I'm now obsessed with it. So 7 Year Slip, basically what's going on so far is that the main character has now experienced her first like magical moment in this apartment that her aunt has gifted her, and her aunt told her that this apartment was magical, so she's kind of waited her whole life for like a magical moment. So she didn't really believe her aunt because it never happened, and now her aunt passed away, so she's kind of just like, well, take me back 7 years in the past, you could at least take me back so I could see my aunt. No, she gets thrown 7 years in the past, and she meets Iwan, and their chemistry right off the bat, amazing. And then we find out that her aunt only has 2 rules for this magical apartment, is that you don't fall in love, and that you take your shoes off at the door. Those are basically the two rules of that house. And of course, there are some feelings there between our main character, Clementine, and Iwan. And so that's kind of where we're at. But like in the present time, like they don't know each other because she went 7 years in the past to meet him. Well, because the apartment literally will throw you randomly. So it's not up to you at all. Like you will randomly just be thrown 7 years in the past. And it's always 7 years. Like it's only 7 years. So I'm just like, it's so crazy because they don't really know each other in real, like in the present, the 7 years in the present, but they know each other 7 years in the past. And so they actually do end up meeting 7 years in the future. And their encounter is just insane. Like, well, not insane, but it's just like there's some resentment there. So I'm like, what happened? Like, what, like, you know, yeah, obviously still remembers her. So I'm just like, how is this gonna play out? What is going on? Because they obviously still remember each other, but again, like, she just randomly gets thrown 7 years in the past. So I'm just like, how is this gonna work out? I kind of want to know. I kind of feel like I'm gonna cry because his character has changed so much. But I mean, 7 years can change you. So I just kind of want to know what exactly happened. Like, was he just so heartbroken by her that he just became this whole grump, or like something happened in the work world that he's in? Like, what happened? I wish I could just have like a little marathon, finish this, and then finish If Only I Had Told Her, and just do nothing else, because I'm thoroughly invested in both of these books and I need to finish both of them like right now. It's right now we're still in Finn's perspective. I think there's 3 perspectives told throughout this book. So we're still in Finn's perspective. We're right in the timeline before I always try to think what is, if you read the book then you know, like, the 2 main characters, we tried childhood best friends. So it's a lot of okay, so if you read the first one, then you know the 2 main characters are childhood best friends, and something tragic happens. So we're kind of like right at the part before that tragic thing happens, and so the main characters are kind of conversating, talking to each other, like trying to figure out what like went wrong. But it's from his perspective, because if you read the first book, you already know what went wrong and how there was like the disconnect, right? Usually disconnect and miscommunication is kind of like the thing I don't like in books, but this is YA, so you know, I think back to that age and there was a lot of miscommunication in like a lot of relationships, even just plain friendships, let alone like relationships at that age. And it's because like you're still so young, you're learning how to really like communicate. Like, you've never really done relationships before, so you don't really know. You just think that things are the way that they are. So that's what this reminds me of. So I feel like it's not as hard for me to read knowing the miscommunication, whereas like if they were full-grown adults, I would hate the miscommunication. Like, that's something I hate in books, is miscommunication, especially if you're a full-grown adult. But it works here because this is YA, so you have to think back up to like your high school years and what it was like in relationships and how you kind of just thought things were what they were. And then like if you actually talk to people, then you realize things were totally different. Like, that happened so much. Again, not even just in relationships, just in friendships. Like, you thought something and then you actually talked to them and it wasn't that, but you were thinking this and this and that because someone said that, and all these influences are in your life, like in your ear, and you're just listening to all of it. In reality, when you should just be sitting down talking to that person, just you and them and nothing else. So I feel like it kind of does make it like more relatable, because when you're young, it's just kind of is like that. So yeah, we're only 120 pages into this book, and I read this all of last night, so I haven't read this at all today. So I'm like, do I switch it up or do I just finish this out? Okay guys, you're gonna have to just like excuse me in this little hoodie situation right now. I'm kind of cold, just a smidge. The heat is on, but I'm just a little chilly, so excuse me. But you know, this is reality. Like, I'm at home in bed. I'm just coming in a hoodie. And my hair is a complete and utter mess. And I'm not gonna redo it just to update you guys about this. So the point of this update is I have officially finished the 7-year slip on Kindle. I will say that I gave it like a 4.5. It was good. I really did like the writing. I think I do want to read more from this author because just like the message and the meaning behind the book is so beautiful. I would have finished this yesterday because I literally only had like 2 hours left, and I only had 2 hours left, so I was gonna finish it yesterday. But I got to one part in the book and it was just really heavy. Like I was listening to it because I was planning to sit down and start reading on my Kindle. So I'm cleaning, and then I get to this one part and my jaw literally just like hit the floor because I wasn't expecting that. And I just took my headphone out and I just like, I guess I needed a little bit of a breather. So I really didn't read anything yesterday except for that one part. So now I'm back and we have officially finished the 7-year slip. It's a 4.5 stars. It was so close to being a 5. It was just a really, really beautiful story. It is I would say it is a romance, but it's not like really too heavy of a romance, and I didn't even really mind that because I just, again, like you have to read it, but the message behind it and then the author's note that I read, it was just really, really beautiful. And I just thought this is just like such a heartwarming story. And I'm still thinking about like the main character, Clementine. I keep calling her Lemon because like the main character kept calling her Lemon, and it was like the cutest nickname ever. I just love them together so much. I think I definitely will do a reread of this book. It was just really, really good. Really good. I'm still not done, you guys, with If Only I Had Told Her. And remember I was telling you guys I was loving this. I definitely was, but then I just realized how short, like this is how far I am into the book, right? And we're no longer in Finn, the main male character, the MMC, in his point of view. And so I just felt like his point of view was so short. So when they said that they when it was announced that this book was going to be out with his perspective, I was like, I could probably go my whole life without reading it. And then I went to Barnes & Noble and I saw it next to the first book, If Only He Had Been With Me, and I was like, okay, it's a sign, I need to get it because they just look so good together, 1. And 2, now I'm curious actually seeing the physical copy. And I'm only 208 pages in. We're now into Jack's perspective. Jack is the MMC's best friend. And it just feels like I'm reading a really long epilogue. So I don't know how I'm feeling. I do want to finish it to see like where it goes, but I don't have the motivation to finish this right now because I'm kind of disappointed. So I'm like coming off a book that's a 4.5. I don't want to go into something that I'm kind of already like I just need to finish it kind of want to try to just go into something new and then maybe finish this like tomorrow, maybe. Well, no, probably Thursday. Read some of this tomorrow and like finish it Thursday because I think I have 100 something pages left in the book. So I think we're gonna start One From My Enemy, which is the last book I told you guys I was gonna read for this vlog. Reading romance for a week, but it's actually going into 2 weeks, but for you it'll just be like a really long vlog because I just there were a couple days I just did not read. And yeah, so I think we're just gonna go ahead and start one from my enemy. So we're gonna go ahead and take off the dust jacket. And I'm excited but nervous to read this. I did start a little while ago, but I don't remember what I read. So I think it was confusing to me in the beginning because it is kind of like a play. Like it has like the characters are laid out for you, and it's like act 1, and then it's like act 2, act 3. So the way it read is like the way it reads is kind of like weird because it's not really chapters per se. Like again, it's act 1 and then act 2, and so it's really long. Like from act 1 to the staging, it's page 7 to 53. And me personally, I don't do super long things like that, so I feel like it's gonna take me forever to read because like act 1 is literally from page 7 to 53, and then well, that's short, 53 to 55 to act 2. That part is short, but it is pretty long from the start of the act to, I guess, the middle of the act, and then to the new act. There are 5 acts in here plus an epilogue, and it does go over the characters in the prologue. I think that is kind of where it's confusing too, is because I'm not reading, like the art here is beautiful, but because I'm not used to reading a book like this, I'm used to reading a book where it's like chapters, but this is not like no real chapters. So I think it confuses me into where like I stop, because obviously I'm gonna read for a little bit tonight and then I'm gonna stop. So I'm like, I don't want to stop in the middle of a chapter, but technically not stopping in the middle of a chapter. I'm stopping like in the middle of an act, which is really weird to me, and I think it just threw me off. But I think now that I know that, and I did read a little bit of it, so I kind of know what to expect going on, I think I can do better this time and read this, because I did find it interesting, but I just found it very confusing. Like I still had to go back and forth between who the characters were, because at one point I was like, wait, aren't you guys related? But they weren't related, and I was just getting lost. Because again, it's a lot of characters in here. Obviously the main characters, but it's a lot of characters in here that you have to know, like who is who. So it's a lot. It can be a little bit confusing, but I'm excited to get back into this because I do really want to read this. Okay, so not a big update or anything like that. I am reading one from my enemy right now. And so tell me why. So they're witches, right? And so the older sister, Masha, is talking to Sasha. And Sasha, the younger sister, is telling her, you can't just curse all the men like in the world. Like you just can't curse everybody. And she's gonna say, not in a single day at least. Much as I try. Now, why I was so confused reading this the first time, I had actually not like fully, I wasn't paying attention to the page numbers basically. So I read something and then I flipped the page, and I guess the pages got stuck together. So of course it wasn't making any sense. So I went back and read it, and I was like, wait, I remember reading this, but I didn't read this. And then I was like, okay, so I must not have been like, because I remember when I did first start reading it, I was super duper tired. So I probably was really tired that I just wasn't paying attention to the page numbers, and I just flipped the page, started reading, and then it made no sense. And I was like, why is it making no sense? Like, why did she do that? Like, if you read, you know, it's like the very beginning scene. I was just like, why did she do that? Like, what? Like, why? Like, she just walked up in there and, like, why? And it didn't really explain. There was, like, no conversation. It's because I flipped the pages together or something, or like they got stuck together or something, because I read it and then I didn't read the part where like they were actually having a conversation, and then I just was at another part and I was like, how did she draw on the floor? And I'm just trying to piece the pieces together, and the pieces weren't piecing at all. So I was just like, I'm tired, I'm gonna put this down. And I never picked it back up because I was just like, this book makes no sense. I felt like I had a defective copy or something. But now it's safe to say, like, we're back into it, and now it all makes sense why she did what she did. And yeah, we're loving it. That quote right there just was hilarious. So I was like, okay, I probably should update you somewhat today and let you know that I am still reading this. Didn't get far because last night I was just really tired, so I didn't get far. But we are still reading One for My Enemy. So this is 405 pages, something like that. Hoping to finish it this week. I still have another book to finish, so realistically, yeah, this is gonna be like a solid 2 weeks and a couple days of me recording. But like, again, a long vlog for you, super long for me because it's going on 2 weeks and it was supposed to be just a week of reading. I got caught up in Love is Blind, like the whole drama. Like, I had to watch it, and then I got caught up in the whole Who the Fuck Did I Marry series, TikTok. So social media was literally consuming me, so I did not do a good job of reading, and then I was doing my homework. So last week was a fail. Otherwise, I would have finished 3 books. I wouldn't have finished all of these books. I would have had just not include these books, but because I was loafing and I was paying so much attention to like social media and like these reality TV shows, I'm just gonna give you more and read more books in this vlog. So I'm still gonna title it Reading Romance in a Week, even though this is not just 1 week. Just because I feel like that title is a good title. Welcome. Why am I saying welcome? I'm definitely ending this video. And I'm so sorry. I have been having like the worst issues with my computer, and it just has really been irritating me and upsetting me so much. So I just never ended this video, and I'm looking at my phone because another thing is it's telling me I have no storage on my phone and that I need to upgrade my storage. And then I'm looking at the video and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just got a camera so I could just put all my videos on my camera now. And anyway, I just never ended this video off. And so now we're like all the way in March, and I'm missing a book. It's been so long. Hold on. Okay, so we're gonna end this video here. Obviously, we're gonna do a quick refresher, and then we're gonna talk about the last 2 books, especially because I didn't get any footage because it's just been a rough one. You guys, it has been a rough one. I'm so sorry. We're in my bathroom again because I was just doing skincare, and I was like, let me just, anyway. So on my Kindle, we read The 7-Year Slip. I gave this 4.5 stars. It was really cute. It was a heartfelt story. I loved the message and the meaning behind it. It was a cute romance, and it was just beautifully written. For Ride, this is a 5-star book. I absolutely loved everything about it. I ate this up. I do have another book by Ali Hazelwood that I do plan on reading, but her writing, it just felt like I was having a good time. I definitely rated this 5 stars based off the vibes, because the vibes just felt like I was just friends with these characters. I love the characters. I just like when authors write like that. Like, it just, I don't know, like the writing, the spelling, everything could be off, but it just felt like a vibe. So it was 5 stars. I didn't see any of this, but I did talk about this in the very beginning because this is what sparked my idea to do Reading Romance in a Week. It's not expanded onto 3 weeks, but that's neither here nor there. Love in Other Words. This was a solid 4. This was so cute. This is childhood friends to lovers. And there's a little tragic thing that happened. They stopped talking and they meet again, and it was really cute. So it's kind of like a second chance romance. Did not make me cry, but it was still beautiful, still 4-star. I do recommend it. So we basically had all bangers except for, yeah, we had all bangers. So let's continue to talk about the bangers before we talk about the letdown in this video. One for My Enemy, another 5 stars. So reading romances, I got 2 5-star reads because this right here was 5 stars. One for My Enemy was so good. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but they're witches in New York, and oh my gosh, there was a turn that I really didn't expect to happen because I thought I was gonna focus on the 2 younger siblings without trying to give too much away. I feel like that did give a lot away, but there was a twist, and so it still was Romeo and Juliet retelling, but was not expecting it to be like that. And I was not expecting them to be like be dealing with like intoxicants. So they're not like good people either. Like they're into some shit. I kind of softy enough this, so this was the disappointing one. And I kind of knew, like, because I didn't even think to pick this book up. If only I had told her. I didn't think to pick this book up because I really didn't think they need to make this book. And I started reading it and my suspicions was correct. At first, you're going to see I was like, oh my gosh, I love it, because I think I was excited to be back into the world. But Finn's point of view is so short. And then you get Jack, his friend's point of view, and I felt like that was kind of unnecessary. It just felt like an epilogue, like a really long epilogue. This is like 400 pages, and it's just like a long ass epilogue. Like, I feel like it would be nice if, like, you know, maybe it wasn't so long, or if we were gonna make it this long, we put more of Finn. Like, we maybe started from the beginning in his perspective. No, we started like right at the end with his perspective. And I didn't like that. I didn't want his perspective just from the end. And so that, it just was disappointing. So I'm slowly working my way through this, but I'm still on Jack's perspective. And it's like, yeah, you know, it's sad and I feel for him, but it just feels like a long epilogue where it just was unnecessary. Like, you could have just saved it. Like, you could have just saved it, honestly. I'm not even done with it, but I do think I'm gonna finish it maybe soon, just so that I have it finished, because I do want to get the rest of the point of view. So I'll probably have to update you guys in like my March wrap up, because I will finish this. But as of right now, I'm not finishing it in this vlog, and so now this will be in March, which reminds me I have to do a February wrap up. This will not be in my February wrap up technically, because I have not finished it, because I just have not, like, I do want to get to it because I know that Autumn, her perspective is in here. So I just feel like it's just going to be like a really long epilogue, and that's not what I think we were asking for. We were asking for his point of view. So it would have been nice to maybe start from the beginning with his point of view, and then maybe keep their chapters super short as like an epilogue, because it just feels like a really long epilogue that did not need to happen. Yeah, I have not finished that book. Don't know when I'm gonna finish it. Well, I do. I'm working on something else, and then I think I'm gonna finish this after I work on some other stuff and do some other things, because I feel like I might just be in the mood because I'll have time to just read. So I think I just might finish that, and then I'll finish another book, and we'll call it a day. But yeah, that is it for reading romances in a week. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.